What's going on, Warriors? It's your boy, Lionheart, and I'm back. Feels good, man. Look, I ain't wasting no time, man. We're going to get into it. We're going to be talking about some Batman, right? I mean, look, bro. That DCFandome event was super godlike. I've never seen anything like that out of a comic book convention or just a convention in general. Not E3, not Tokyo Game Show, not Comic-Con, nothing. I've never seen anything display an array of media and entertainment on that level, ever. Everything they showed, absolutely everything, was a 10 out of 10. The only thing I would say wasn't a 10 out of 10 to me was the Batman, right? But then, I've upgraded it to a 10 out of 10 afterwards. We'll come to that, yeah? Now, when they first showed this Batman trailer, I didn't watch it. Because they showed so much stuff. I was exhausted. I was drained emotionally, physically and psychologically, just from the amount of incredible that came out of DCFandome, right? So to be honest with you, I thought it was done, and I was ready to like pack it up and just like chill out and everything like that. And then I went to get something to eat, relax, play some Gears of War. Then I came back, looked at my YouTube timeline because I wanted to watch the Zack Snyder Snyder Cut Justice League trailer, and then the first thing I saw was the Batman. I was like, what? Are you joking? They're not done yet. All I want to do was sleep. You saw my reaction, basically. If you watch my reaction, yeah, you see, it was 2 a.m. I wanted to go to bed, bro. All right, so I came back to it, and then I watched it, right? And when I first watched it, you got to see, at this instant, when I watched when you watch that reaction that I did, that was a live reaction. I didn't see anything, right? I wasn't even expecting it. So when I watched it, I was surprised I was watching a Batman trailer, and I was underwhelmed, yeah? Until it got to the part where you actually saw those thugs come to Batman / the stuntman, yeah, and say, who are you supposed to be? And then Batman / the stuntman just smashed that guy, bro. Put that guy into the ground. Like, he took him to the wall, then took him to the floor, and just smashed him. Ground him into dust, yeah? Alright. That was the bit that got me, right? If you see my reaction. That was when I was like, okay, and what you woke me up. I'm watching a Batman. Yeah, I'm watching a real Batman trailer. This is really happening. This is really Batman. Yeah, because up to that point, it wasn't really registering in my brain. This is a serious Batman movie. Yeah. But I was still a little bit underwhelmed with it in summary. All right. Now, I was watching something. Yeah. Or maybe a comment that said on Twitter, that said something about Matt Reeves' interview he was saying. I was like, Matt Reeves' interview? What was that? I didn't see that. So I went on to YouTube, searched for it, found it. And I want to say context means everything, right? Because it just looked to me like I was watching like a low budget movie, because the name Matt Reeves meant nothing to me. You know, I know it's going to sound very silly, yeah, but the name Robert Pattinson, it means Twilight and what's the other film that he did? Harry Potter. That's what it means to me. I've not watched any of this guy's movies, you know, Robert Pattinson, except I've, like, Twilight and, well, I think I watched, like, the first one and second one. So I'm not keeping up to date with that guy. I don't really care about his movies. He doesn't do the type of movies that I care about, right? Although I'm going to watch Tenet. I know I've just said that name of that movie wrong. Movie that's coming out. Christopher Nolan movie. Yeah. So, watch the Matt Reeves interview. A very good interview, might I add. And then he said some things that kind of changed my perspective about the movie. You know, he said that it's not going to be an origin movie. I love that. I'm tired. I am exhausted and bored of origin movies. This is going to be a Batman movie where he is going to be in mastery of his physical abilities. But his psychological standpoint is he's fractured. Yeah. So it's also him dealing with the duality of his psychology. And how fractured it is Batman, Bruce Wayne. Because Batman is the illusion that is the character. And Bruce Wayne is the reality. When it's not, it's actually switched. Bruce Wayne is the mask. Bruce Wayne is the cowl. He's the illusion. Batman is the real identity of Bruce Wayne, right? All his emotions, how he's feeling, all the damage, everything that he is realized in the Batman. And Bruce Wayne, with the cars, the fancy women, spending millions and billions, being the poster boy for just, you know, nothingness, right? Just material stuff. That's the illusion. Yeah? Because he isn't that at all. He's really the Batman. Okay. So that's interesting to me. Yeah? And also, the movie is going to be about him figuring out how to put the pieces together of being Batman / Bruce Wayne. And using his resources and his mind to solve the problems, or the problem that is Gotham. Yeah. So I find that interesting. You know. So as he is figuring out what is he supposed to do? How is he meant to do it? How is he meant to put the pieces of this crazy, weird puzzle together? Right? Because, you know, Gotham it's messed up. You know, you've got Gotham to its core is corrupt. The politicians, the corporations, the police, like in real life, they're all corrupt. They're all full of shit, right? And then he has to look into it and think to himself, so the life that I led, where were my parents in this picture? You know? And as he is solving the puzzle of these murders that are being committed by the Riddler, who's probably going to be the main antagonist from the way the trailer was making it display to be. From the first time that you saw in the trailer, the Riddler was using the duct tape to kill the mayor, like suffocate him. Yeah, which is a grim way to kill somebody. The Riddler had his face bandaged up or sellotaped up with duct tape as well. And he looked like the Hush, actually, right? Which is like really fascinating, that the way that they should do that with that character. And he also had like the glasses, yeah. So as he's solving those murders and the clues that the Riddler's leaving for him, yeah, with the to the Batman, like the letters that says to the Batman. This is for the Batman. What will happen when the lies stop, and all this type of riddles that he's leaving for the Batman, and Batman's trying to like figure it out. Yeah, as he's going along his adventure, that's when he's running into people like Catwoman, Penguin, Carmine Falcone, and all these type of characters. So he's interacting with them as he's solving the murders and everything that is going on. And as well as this movie looking into the psychology of Batman, you know. So this movie is going to be like a detective. This is why I really like what I heard from Matt Reeves, yeah. It's a detective movie, a thriller, movie with like the police and the corruption of the police department. So it's going to be delving into police corruption, a thriller, and a detective movie, and an action movie. Right? It's got to have action, right? I mean, I'm sorry, but Batfleck set the bar, man. He set the bar kind of high for what I expect to see from Batman. Yeah, like if you remember, I think it was Batman versus Superman. Yeah, the warehouse scene. That fight is which made me respect Batfleck. Yeah, if I'm being 100% honest with you. There's more things that he did, yeah. But in order for me to respect his physicality as being Batman, that scene, the warehouse fight, changed everything for me with Batfleck. To be honest with you, I feel like he's the third best Batman. Third only to Michael Keaton and Christian Bale. I never thought I'd ever hear myself say that, but it's true, man. He was actually a good Batman, right? Strong Batman, because the company he was keeping, Wonder Woman, Flash, Superman, Aquaman, Darkseid, like the Parademons. Hey, you gotta be godlike to be in that company and be able to keep up with them, right? Let alone be Batman and just exist. Because he's a normal guy. Well, he's not a normal guy, but in terms of his physical, he is a human being, right? And that's another thing about this Batman. When I was looking at him, I don't believe this guy. I don't believe in his physicality, man. Like, I do like the ending bit, right? When you saw him, like, just beating on that thug, yeah? And it reminded me of the 90s animation of Batman, yeah? Where the threat of violence alone is a deterrent, yeah? Because the way he beat that thug down, it was super necessary. Because did you see the other thugs when they saw what Batman did to that guy? He like pounded that guy into the ground, man. It's a deterrent. It's basically who's next? Who's next? None of them looked like they wanted to come forward. None of them looked like they wanted any bit of that Batman violence. None of them. Yeah? It worked. So that's what it kind of meant, I saw. Because the reason I said the 90s cartoons, because there was a bit where there was this thug that they'd captured and they couldn't get information out of him, right? No matter what they did, what they threatened him with. Batman went up to him and then whispered to the guy, and then the guy just urinated himself. Yeah, and he's like, okay, I'm so sorry. I'll tell you whatever you want. I'll do it. Yeah? That told me everything, right? It is, and then Superman said, what did you say to him? And then Batman didn't say nothing, yeah? And then you can only imagine what Batman said to that thug to make him just melt, right? And then just like, the guy was like talking for hours, telling everything about his life story, his history, everything that he's been through. He ratted on everything and everyone just from Batman whispering in his ear for 4 seconds, right? It's the threat of violence that can just change everything. That's what I saw. That's why if you look at my reaction, that's why I was hyped when I saw that reaction, because that's what I saw. But also, I don't believe that's Robert Pattinson, right? That's what took me out of the moment immediately afterwards, right? Because when you saw him at that funeral, he looked hella thin. Like, very thin. But we know this already. We know that the Patterson guy's not really taken the physicality of Batman serious. So every time he's got the cowl on, yeah, and he's fighting, that's a stunt man. 100%. That's no way is that Patterson. Right. But in terms of acting, yeah, I've heard he's a good actor. Yeah. I don't know how good his acting is. Right, because I don't really watch his movies at all. The only movie, as I said, that I've watched of his is Twilight, the first one, and the second one, I think. Right, and Harry Potter. Yeah, last I've heard of this guy, I don't know anything about this guy's work. Right, so yes, you know, the movie's only 25% done. That's crazy to me. Only 25% done, and they were able to create a trailer using that. And it's a pretty good trailer, man, because after I watched the Matt Reeves interview and he gave us the context of what his vision for this Batman is, it kind of just made sense to me. I understand it. I have to strip away my my desire to watch a Batman movie. And I just have to enjoy it as a movie, just like I did with the Joker. If I do that, I know I can enjoy this movie. Because, as I said before, I didn't really like the Joker at all when I first heard about the movie. Yeah? I watched that movie, the movie godlike. And I still don't think it's a billion, money-making movie. But it's a godlike movie. Right, it's a very, very good film. And it was just the psychological thriller movie. Deep dive into the consciousness of a human and how they can break down and what they can become if people are not saved. Right? That's what the Joker was to me. It's like a really interesting movie, and this movie can be the same, bro. Right? And I love the way this DC fandom has shown us that they can make this DC universe with a Batman in Snyder Cut, and then another Batman, and then maybe they can have the Joker in Suicide Squad, and they can have the Joker in the Joker movie, and they can maybe have a Joker in the Batman movie, and they're all different because they're creating a universe that's different to the Marvel universe, because they're having like a multiverse where you can have different variations of the same character in movies that come out at the same time, or a month apart, or a year apart, or years apart. And then so you make Batman vs Superman, then you can have Suicide Squad Joker, and then you can have the Joker, right? And it works because the way they've explained the DC multiverse, there's not one continuous timeline like there is with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I love that. And this DC fandom has helped explain what their vision is. That's why this fandom was so important. Yeah, as I said before, context means everything. And just by seeing that interview with Matt Reeves, it made me like the trailer. Like, now I think the trailer is cool, man. It's godlike trailer, man. You know, although there's some things I still don't understand. You know why Bruce Wayne looks like a punk? Yeah, but I still think he's trying to understand who he is as Batman. What Bruce Wayne is supposed to portray. Yeah. But this is just my wishful thinking. You know, when I look at the Batman and I don't quite get what I'm looking at, right? But then also you saw a part where he was at I think it was a press conference that the Gotham Police Department was giving, and then you saw Bruce Wayne was there, and he had like the black makeup around his eyes, yeah, and he was wearing a mask. So why has he got like the black makeup around his eyes that he wears where he's normally wearing the cowl because of like around his eyes, which is good. I like the fact that they've done that with the Batman, but why was he wearing that when he was Bruce Wayne? You know, those are certain things that was a kind of thing like I don't understand. Yeah, but seeing the context for his outfit, seeing the context for his vehicle, the Batmobile, I like it and I get it now, right? Because before, when Matt Reeves was putting out pictures of Batman standing next to his Batmobile, yeah, in the red, the black and red, and also pictures of what the Batman looked like, I didn't like it. I didn't like it because there's no context. And when he was tweeting, because tweets, the articulation can easily be taken out of context and be disingenuous. Watching him, Matt Reeves, talk, I get it. I get it, and I like what I hear. And now I think the black and red theme, I think it's cool. I think it's godlike, actually, now. And that's such a far cry from the way I was feeling about it before fandom. Yeah, so I want to say again, context is everything, you know. And then, of course, you saw Gordon. He looks cool. You know, everybody in the police department, in the law enforcement, bro, they're used to Batman, because he was in crime scenes and nobody was even batting an eye, which I felt very, very weird, right? But it is what it is, you know. And we'll see some more. We'll see some more. You know, we saw Catwoman, Selena Kyle. She looks cool, you know. So I want to see, like, their interaction, yeah, between those two. And just how the world interacts with Batman, you know. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I also want to see how they deal with the Riddler, you know, because they got him looking like the Hush, all that type of stuff. You know, they can make him godlike. I hope they don't touch Joker, like they leave Joker, right? Because Joker is iconic, man, from Heath Ledger. Yeah, so this is opportunity to step out of the shadow of that and do something with the Riddler. You know it's the Riddler because at the end of the trailer you saw it said, and the movie's coming out in 2021, right? But where there was the twos, they replaced it with a question mark, you know. So yeah, that's all I really wanted to say about that. I really would like to hear what you guys think about the whole Batman trailer and how you felt about the DC fandom and everything like that, and the fact that this movie is only 25% of it has been shot, yet they're still able to deliver such a really bloody cool trailer like that, you know. So yeah, man, Warriors, it's over to you, man. I want to hear what you guys got to say. Thanks for watching. If you've watched it this far, you are godlike. Yeah. So yep, once again, thank you. Keep tuned. And more videos are on the way. Art Warriors, latest.